Listen, I don't make the news, I just report it. And we've been talking about the Detroit Lions potentially bringing in someone to back up Jared Goff, or at least another quarterback to compete with Nate Sudfeld in training camp. And it looks like that may actually be the case. Now, according to Dan Campbell in his press conference, this is coming from Eric Woodyard from Twitter. It says Lions head coach says it's looking less likely that Hendon Hooker concussion will be in practice this week. He has to clear protocols, meaning concussion protocols. There's a chance that the team will add another backup QB. Now, we've been talking about this for a while. And the question that I have is, if that is indeed the case, who could the Detroit Lions bring in? Now, a lot of you guys are split on the addition of Ryan Tannehill and made some good points in the comment section that Tannehill wants to be a starter. Well, if he wants to be a starter, he might as well take his talents to the UFL. And also another point that you guys brought out was when Malik Willis was drafted in 2022, that he didn't want to mentor him. All good points. But it's amazing what can happen if you're no longer the starter in the National Football League and you have no chance at being a starter. At this point, Ryan Tannehill is waiting for a starter to get injured to try to come in and take their job. That is probably not going to happen. So if he wants to do that, perfectly fine. If he's still being selfish, perfectly fine. Stay where you are. But even if we don't look into him, who could the Detroit Lions look at? Well, when you see this list, I think you could agree with me. Ryan Tannehill, this is coming from Spot Track. The next best option, Brian Hoyer, Blaine Gabbert, A.J. McCarron. I know a couple of you guys in the comment section are huge on him. Played for the Cincinnati Bengals. I believe he was the Battlehawks quarterback. It might not have been this year, but I know he did play in one of the alternate football leagues. Matt Barkley, Trevor Siemian, Nathan Peterman, still in the league, Logan Woodside, and Ben DiNucci. I got a couple words to say about that, and it goes like this. Oh no, to the no, 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 no. None of those guys not named Ryan Tannehill. So here's the thing, and this is what we talked about yesterday. Hendon Hooker needs reps. If he can't practice, that's already a bad sign. Then he's going to go from clearing concussion protocol to inside the game, assuming that he can't play. Dan Campbell said, we'll learn a lot more the next couple of days. Assuming he can't play, who are we going to bring in here? It does not look good, because remember now, and you guys had to remind me of this, right now, every person is on a roster. There is no practice squad. You cannot go poach someone off the 90-man roster. You have to wait for them to be cut in order to do that. Do we have time for that to happen? And here's what I was saying in yesterday's video. A lot of y'all was chopping me up in the comment section, but all I was saying was that is the one thing Hendon does not have is time. He doesn't have time. There was some good points made in the comment section as well about people just, letting him sit, and how the backup quarterback, it might not be that big of a deal. I understand that. If that's your feeling, then that's your feeling, because we may never have to see him. But like I said in yesterday's video, all a backup quarterback is insurance. Let me ask you a question. For those of you who drive in a state that you are allowed to have no-fault insurance on your car, there comes a point where you can potentially switch to that no-fault insurance, auto insurance. But while your car is being financed, you must have full coverage, at least in the state of Michigan. The bank will not accept anything less than full coverage, okay? There's a lot that goes into that, but basically, they want to protect their loan, their asset, because the car is technically not yours until you completely pay for it. Now, on the other hand, if you pay for it, in Michigan, we have something called no fault, where it's the cheapest auto insurance on the board, and I call it yo fault, no fault, yo fault, right? So if something happens to your car, usually if you have full coverage, the bank will cut you a check based on, when did this turn into an auto? When you have full coverage, the bank will they should cut you a check if they can't repair it based on the value of the vehicle. Sometimes it's, it pays off the loan, maybe cuts you a little bit more in order to now then go get a new car. right? So you and the bank are square. But when you get to that no fault, you get into an accident. It literally covers, I believe, liability or something like that. That's it. But the cost of the vehicle is not covered. What is my point in that whole thing is it's the biggest scam until you need it. Until you need it. That's all a backup QB has ever been. Tom Brady started off as a backup QB. Many QBs in the league have started off as a backup QB. So for me, if your name is not Ryan Tannehill as of this moment, who are you bringing in? Now, on the flip side, you're looking at a potential for these guys to be immediately cut. You come in for the second preseason game, and then you are getting cut immediately after. Soon as Hendon gets that concussion protocol clearance, then you're getting cut. But my point is this. The more Hendon misses, the less reps he has. And then all of a sudden, this guy is supposed to be number 2. So I guess it's all a matter of perspective. How do you value the number 2 position? What do you look for? And because I'm seeing in the comments section, man, it's kind of like to some of y'all, it's a big deal. To others, it's not. So for me, I'd rather get ahead of this thing. I think that every second, even practice that Hendon Hooker misses, that is hurting his growth in his ability to be a backup QB. Which, I hate to say this, I know y'all can't stand this, but right now, Hendon Hooker's trajectory is backup quarterback at best, because he has to be allowed the opportunity to showcase his talents to become a starter. Now, could a team trade for him down the line or something like that and want him in their starting role at 27, 28? They could very well do that. But there's only 32 of these positions in the National Football League, 64 if you count the backups. And to do that is very difficult. So this is not a knock on Hendon. This is just a reality of the NFL. It literally stands for not for long. If you can't show your value, how much do you actually have? So for me, I hate car insurance. I hate it. I think it's ridiculous that it's more than life insurance. Even if you get, I used to sell life insurance, but even if you get a whole life policy and you get where that policy is building you money, it's still cheaper in a lot of regards than car insurance. Ridiculous, right? So I think car insurance, maybe QB backup number 2 is the same way. The biggest scam until you need it. So I just would hate to see something happen, to Jared Goff, and then this season that we have that we're so excited for takes a left turn. So let me know your thoughts on Hendon Hooker and a potential backup role out of these available quarterbacks. It's about 10 of them. That's it. Available quarterbacks, right? Who would you want to see? Or in that case, name a quarterback that is available at this moment, whether he played in the UFL or otherwise, that you would like to see who's not on this list. You guys are awesome, man. Consider using the links in the description, the affiliate links. I'm going to push these whenever there's something to push. And right now, the NFL shop, the official shop of the Detroit Lions, is having a 25% off sale through tonight. So get in while you can. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. And my members of the highest tier. We had a success. I meant to tell you that. We had a success. I was able to show the game to people who are the highest members. It went off without a hitch. Only thing I have to figure out is the sound, because originally you guys were going to listen to the sound through me, but then I'm a little off as far as timing, so we'll figure that out. But it did go off pretty much without a hitch. So that is one of the best perks of the highest member tier. So let me know, or consider joining that tier, man. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. I don't know if you've heard, man, but football is back.